Well, I guess it's been about 7-8 days since Pop passed. Finally feel like getting out and doing something, but it's rough, man, losing your father. But I just came out here to the park and I'm gonna try to find a spot. It's kind of mossy. But it's kind of good to get out, do a little hiking. There was a nice bass there. Trying to get it on film. I don't know if you can see those cichlids. They're pretty nice. I'm forcing myself to fish today. Can't get my daddy off of my mind. Poor guy. You know, my dad, I guess one of the things that he did right was when I was a baby, well, I was like 4 or 5, he always kept me entertained when we went fishing. And he would perform these rituals to help our fishing. It was funny. He would get these grasshoppers, catch them and stuff, you know, out in the field. And he was a smoker back then. He quit smoking at the age of 50. And nice little bass. Another one right there, boy. They're wanting to eat right there. But it might be a Guadalupe. But he'd take those grasshoppers, and I guess I was like 7 or so, 6. And he told me I needed to cook them because that would attract the fish. So he built this tiny little fire in between my legs. I burnt up these grasshoppers. And I guess he was kind of stalling because he wanted to fish. And you know, he did that to here's a good place to sit. He did that, you know, to keep me entertained in between catches, you know, because I probably would have lost interest in fishing, you know, had he not done stuff like that. Then other times he would like one time we went to this ranch and it had artesian wells coming out. It was just right outside San Antonio. It had artesian wells just bubbling up out of the ground, and there's these chain of ponds or little lakes, whatever, on this property because of these artesian wells, and you could just see them bubbling, and eventually the city of San Antonio would cap them and stuff and restrict access, but the bass was plentiful in there. And I remember my dad, he would take off wade fishing into these little ponds and just leave me there on the bank, and I was like, I don't want to go in there with them snakes, you know, and he would, and I would catch bass, you know, but, you know, 2-3 pounders, but he'd come back with like a stringer full of 7 or 8 of them. And, you know, I tell you what, that's something my dad could do, you know, if he ever cooked a fish, no matter how big it was. He knew how to cook it to make it taste the best. So, anyhow.